Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Nicole Packer, who was charged with the murder of two teenagers while driving drunk in Morongo Valley several years ago, entered guilty pleas on lesser charges on Tuesday and was sentenced to more than 14 years in prison. In San Bernardino County's Joshua Tree Court, Packer pled guilty to 2 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated with enhancements for great bodily injury. She was initially charged with 2 counts of murder, to which she pled not guilty. Packer, a 35-year-old resident of Morongo Valley, was arrested in December 2020 on murder charges after an incident on June 12, 2019. Packer was driving a 2018 white Ford Fiesta westbound on Highway 62 at a high rate of speed when her car crashed into a 2018 Toyota Prius that was turning into the Circle K gas station. 2 teenagers in the back seat of the Prius, Hart Campbell, 14, and Ruby Campbell, 17, both died at local hospitals a few hours later. Their parents, Colin Campbell and Gail Lerner, were seriously injured, as was Packer. It took 18 months for the district attorney to investigate the case, resulting in warrants for Packer's arrest on 2 counts of murder, as well as driving under the influence, causing injury, and causing great bodily harm or death to multiple victims. Packer was also driving with a suspended license. Packer will be back in court for a restitution hearing on March 7th. The family of Jacqueline Brianna Murray, a missing woman found dead in 29 Palms last weekend, is asking for the community's help for funeral arrangements. Murray's mother is directing people to a crowdfunding page set up to provide resources for the family, including cremation and a burial service, a celebration of life, and continued investigation into the circumstances of her death. Murray, a 38-year-old resident of 29 Palms, was reported missing on November 25th. Her remains were found in 29 Palms on January 16th. The cause of and circumstances surrounding her death and disappearance are still being investigated by the San Bernardino County Coroner's Office and the Sheriff's Morongo Basin Station. You can find a link to the fundraiser in this story at Z107.7 FM.com. Among the many agenda items to be considered at tomorrow's 10 o'clock meeting of county supervisors in San Bernardino, there is one item of special relevance to our Morongo Basin, or more specifically to anyone who appreciates outdoor activity in Joshua Tree. Reporter Mike Lipsitz puts on his running shoes to bring us this report.
Supervisors are expected to accept a $3.7 million grant agreement with Caltrans to clean up, beautify, and provide improved recreational opportunities at Sunburst Park and Community Park. The project will improve existing older playgrounds and park features to make them more accessible, beautiful, and safe. Improvements include new paving, more Americans with Disabilities Act accessible pathways, shade structures, trash receptacles, upgraded inclusive playgrounds, a pump track, and lighting. More about this project is on the Board of Supervisors agenda, which may be accessed through a link in this story at Z107.7FM.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
The twice-yearly general meeting of the Dale Basin Well Owners Association has been announced for this Sunday. The 2 items on the agenda include association elections for the positions of president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and 2 directors. Proposed changes to association bylaws will also be discussed at the meeting. The meeting starts at 2 p.m. Sunday at the Wonder Valley Community Center, located at 80526½ Amboy Road in Wonder Valley. For 25 years, local survivors of sexual assault have found a steady friend in Partners Against Violence, and now the organization is seeking volunteers to help with its mission, assisting victims. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
For those who have fallen victim to a crime or sexual assault, one local organization, Partners Against Violence, can be a godsend. PAV offers free support services such as counseling, court readiness, law enforcement advocacy, and forensic exam accompaniment. PAV also provides a 24/7 hotline, which depends heavily on volunteers, which they desperately need more of. Thus, PAV is hosting a crisis intervention volunteer advocate training beginning February 6th. Anyone interested in this free 40-hour California State Certified course should show up at the local office on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. for a 3-hour training session. Volunteers will graduate on Saturday, March 16th in San Bernardino. Partners Against Violence is located at 58945 Business Center Drive, Suite C in Yucca Valley. For more info and links and phone numbers, look for this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
And finally, the Yucca Valley High School Lady Trojan basketball team traveled to the Glendora High School shootout on Saturday to face West High School from Bakersfield and came home with an impressive 66-18 victory over the Vikings. The Yucca girls as a team knocked down 13 three-point baskets to take control of the game from the opening tip. Leading the charge was senior Cadence Tarrant, who pumped in 18 points, which included 2 from long range. Junior Taylor Monroy was scorching from behind the three-point line, hitting 5 on her way to 17 points, and freshman Nevaeh Backleg came off the bench to score 12 points. The team improved their record to 20-4 on the season. They return to Desert Valley League action on Wednesday when they host Banning High School in Trojan Gym. Tip-off is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear news happening, let us know about it. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z1077 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.